Hey, I'm Jessica and welcome to Shift Worthy Fit. And I know I should probably be like in some fitness clothes right now or like lifting some weights. But I thought today we could just grab a cup of coffee and then I could share with you guys my health and fitness story. So come join me. All right, let's do this thing. Yay! All right, so I want to share with you guys my health and fitness journey. I'm not going to share all of it because this video would be really long. So throughout this YouTube channel, I will share bits and pieces and hopefully it can encourage you. But I want to start back in 2018 because this is really like when my consistency started, I guess, with my health and fitness journey, because I have been consistent with it since May of 2018. All right, so I remember it was May of 2018 and I stepped into my house at that time, and I was married at that time, but I stepped into that house. My house was completely empty. It was just me and a dog. And it was like this for about a month. My marriage was falling apart. I was broken. Like every single day of my life just felt like an adventure and not a fun adventure that you'd want to go on. Like it was just a bunch of brokenness. So at that time in my life, I would get on Instagram every single day, and there was this girl that I followed and she really inspired me. And during that season, I need all the inspiration I could get. So I would watch her stories every single day. She woke up at 5 a.m., she went to work, and then she came back home and she did this health and fitness coaching thing. So she helped other women, get in shape, and they just all looked so incredibly happy. And I was at that place in my life, I was like, I just want to be happy. So I was like, I had this idea. I was like, I should become a health and fitness coach. So, I mean, come on guys, like that'll make you happy. But it just seems silly right now thinking about it. But I ended up sending her a DM, and then she gave me all this information. And then a week later, I was in a training to be a health and fitness coach. So health and fitness coaching, it did make me happy, and I started actually like losing weight. I could see results. I could see like these cool little muscles that I didn't even know existed on my body. And I was helping other women get the same results. Like they were losing weight. They were just so excited even about like eating good, and it was great. But you know what? There was still something inside of me that was just missing and that was broken. Like I looked like I had it all together on the outside, but on the inside, it was that missing piece right there. And side note, but that missing piece was Jesus. Yes, at that time, I did have a great relationship with Jesus, but he's the only one that could really fill that void in my life. So I didn't necessarily need to be a health and fitness coach to make me feel better, I just really needed to spend that time with Jesus and let him fill me, and then I would be happy. But he is using health and fitness as a tool. I can see it then. He was preparing me for what I'm doing now, which is helping everybody like invite Jesus into their health and fitness. But I'm getting too far in, but that's just a random side note. But I just needed Jesus to make me happy, not to be a health and fitness coach. But we do the things that we do. All right, let's come outside for a little bit and get some fresh air. But so after this time in my life, this is probably where the hard part really comes in for me, is I started getting mocked and ridiculed by people that were supposedly loved me, like my close surrounding people, just about my health and fitness journey, and then about my health and fitness coaching. They would just be like, you're never gonna amount to much, like this is never gonna work out for you. Or there were some times where I just really wanted to be locked in on my health and fitness, just because it makes my body feel good. It wasn't because I'm depriving myself or something. And I remember we were at a pizza place with a bunch of people, and I just wanted to go and just to hang out. I wasn't going to get any pizza or anything just because I was just feeling really good about sticking with my health and fitness, like my nutrition plan, because I was getting results and I just wanted to feel good. So I was at the pizza place, and then I was getting ridiculed for not eating a slice of pizza. And that's what that whole, it just still brings me to tears, but like that's what that whole, place was. It was supposed to be like happy time, spending time with friends, but it was just, everybody picking at me like because I'm not eating pizza. And this just kept going on, and then people are just like, they're like, you're obsessed with this, or like this or that, and and it just hurt. So this is also part of Shift Worthy Fit. So if you guys are on a health and fitness journey, you're trying to better yourself, and people around you are ridiculing you and just calling you names and every horrible thing in the book, I just want to let you know that I'm cheering you on. I know exactly how it feels, and I want to be your cheerleader. God is your cheerleader, both first and foremost, but I want to be your second cheerleader, we'll say. But that's a little side note, and that stuff just doesn't feel good. So fast forward just a little bit. Then after all of this, I was still going through everything. Being a health and fitness coach, like just trying to figure everything out and getting made fun of and everything. But I was on this coaching call, and this was like the moment that I feel like God really used to just kind of like twist and turn everything. And I'm so thankful for Jesus for doing this. But I was on a coaching call with the creator of Shift Shop, Chris Downing, and he was talking about this mentorship program that he was doing. And just like to rewind a little bit, this was my go-to program. I loved it so incredibly much. This was the one that I would work out to every single day, just because like I felt so alone. And I felt like he was the only one like on the TV, like speaking motivation to me. Like it was just like me and him this whole entire time, because I didn't have anybody else. So I did get really excited whenever I found out that he was going to be on the coaching call. But he was talking about this mentorship program that he had, and I was just like, I have got to do this thing. Like I knew it like in my spirit. I was like, I am meant to do this. So I went, and I couldn't afford it at the time, so I got a credit card. I don't recommend doing that, but I knew I was supposed to do it. Got a credit card, swiped it, and before you knew it, I was in this mentorship. And in this mentorship, it really pushed me. It helped me to learn to forgive others. So those people that hurt me, I walked up to them and I was like, I forgive you. And it also helped me to forgive myself. And I didn't like looking in the mirror at myself. I didn't like myself at that time, because all I saw was the brokenness. I didn't see like I lost weight, I look happy, supposedly, to the whole world. Like I didn't see what they saw. I just saw a broken girl. And I remember one session, he was like, it was about, loving yourself, forgiving yourself. And it was just like, you need to look yourself in the mirror, and you need to, speak like how much, build yourself up, like the confidence, like how much you love yourself. And I was just like, I can't do that. But then he's like, if you can't do that, then you just dog yourself out. So I got in front of that mirror and I said the worst things ever about myself. And I just remember breaking down and crying. And that just like really broke something in me. I was just like, I can't keep going on like this. Like it just hurts. And that mentorship, I ended up joining it again. And then I ended up actually, being like a member of his mentorship for like 5 years, and it helped me so much. Like, he pushed me, and then also we had these Saturdays where, he would train us, and he just pushed me to be a better person and just to really get in after it. And I started actually feeling better. So yes, during this mentorship, I started feeling better. And then I kept hearing this thing. I kept hearing, it's a kingdom thing. And I was like, what? Like, I know that's from God. I heard it clear. It's a kingdom thing. This health and fitness journey, this coaching thing that you're doing, Jessica, this is a kingdom thing. And then after that, I kept hearing the word shift, because yes, I was shifting. I was shifting through the messy. I was shifting through the broken. I was shifting through the hard. I was shifting through people mocking me, like just shifting through it all. And then I kept hearing, like, on the other side of it, worthy, worthy, worthy. And I was like, what? I was like, what if I put those two words together? It's like, maybe that's what God's trying to tell me. Shift, worthy. And then that's whenever God downloaded the message of shift worthy deep down inside of me. And this all comes from my health and fitness journey. So shift worthy is getting comfortable. It's being uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable during this whole entire thing. So shift worthy is getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, and it's giving that hard thing, like that thing that's, like that empty feeling that I was talking about. It's giving it to Jesus. It's giving him that surrender. So all along, I needed to surrender. I needed to surrender to Jesus. And that's whenever, you're just like, God, I can't do this anymore. I need you to come into my life. I need you to shift me. And yes, that's whenever he shifts you. And I like to think of it as a mountain, because that's what he gave me. He's shifting you up a mountain. He's taking that situation or that circumstance and he's shifting you. But what he's shifting you really into is that deeper relationship with him. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's messy, but you're with him. And then eventually you arrive on top of the mountain. And that mountaintop is called worthy. It's called Mount Worthy. That is where you can look down the mountain and you can finally breathe and you can cry those tears of joy and you're just like, thank you, Jesus. Like, look what you've done. Like, you've done all of this. And you know what? Going through my health and fitness journey, getting mocked, ridiculed, being uncomfortable, I got closer to Jesus through it. And he started revealing things to me. And then eventually, I did get to Mount Worthy, where I could look back down and I could be like, you know what? I forgave those people. I feel good now, God. I know what you've called me to do, like I felt good. I was in a good place. So then he downloaded that message into my heart. And then after that, it was of maybe I did it in 2018 too. I don't know. I think we'll just say 2019. But I started getting on IG myself. I was already on it, but I started doing IGTV back in the day. And every Wednesday, I would just come on and I would get on there and I would share a shift-worthy message. I was just kind of perfecting that message that God really gave me, and just, seeing like how big this is, and just, it's big because it's Jesus, and just, it was the message of my health and fitness journey. And then it was me being able to share it with others, and maybe they weren't going through a fitness journey, but it was something else. But I was being able to share Jesus with them. I was being able to help them shift to Jesus. So yeah, I just started sharing Worthy Wednesdays, and then some I did Shift Saturdays. I did the same thing, sharing the Shift Worthy message on Saturdays. All right, so let's come back inside for a little bit. There's a lot of dogs out there barking now, and plus, need some coffee. But so I was doing the Worthy Wednesdays, and then, my world, it was October of 2019. It just hit really hard, and I ended up going through a divorce. So I was even more broken this time, and I actually remember I was supposed to deliver a Worthy Wednesday message that week, and that's the week that I quit and I was done with it all. I remember trying to press record and I could not get words out. I just had these like tears, crocodile tears, and it was horrible. And I was like, okay, God, you gave me this cool message and this cool thing, and and then now I'm here and I'm in the shift again. Like, I'm shifting, like, always. Like, I'm just broken. Like, it was horrible. And then at that time, I stopped going to church. I didn't want to go to church anymore. But I am so incredibly thankful. And my friend Mercedes ever sees this, like, shout out to her. But she was the one that kind of helped me in that little season that I was in, going through a divorce, just because we worked together at that time. And then she was like, hey, I'm going to like this pop-up church, or it was a church in another town. And she's like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, I felt like I should say yes. So I was like, yes. And then I remember I went with her to that church service, and I was with all like her people from her church, and they were just so loving. And I remember giving her like a hug at the very end of it, and like just tears. And I was just so thankful for just being there, for like being at church, So that was the part that Jesus really used. Jesus really used that situation, because after that, he led me to a church that is now my home church today, and I have been going there ever since, which I'm so incredibly thankful for. And after a little bit, like months of like going to that church, I ended up being in this small group. And when I was in this small group, there was this girl, and she was a health and fitness coach too. It's amazing like how God brings you together. So then we just started talking one day, and we're just like, hey, do you want to run a group together? And then we decided to run a group together. And this was in 2020, the pandemic and everything. So we started running, it was like what was it called? Total Knockout or something. Yeah, I think that's what it was called. And then, we were putting like faith in it with fitness and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, God, I was like, maybe this is that kingdom thing that you were calling me to do. So after that, we led that group together. And then after that, I went on my own, and I started doing faith-based, health and fitness groups. And I loved it. And I was just like, I guess this is that kingdom thing that you were telling me about, So yes, that was a kingdom thing, me leading the faith-based health and fitness groups. But you know what? There was a bigger picture, because also during that time, I joined a mentorship group, another one. This is a different one. And this one was kind of about it was a Christian one. It was about like your dreams and your goals and your purpose. And our first assignment was to sit down for 21 days straight. And it was just to listen for like the Holy Spirit's voice on direction, leading and guiding of what he wants us to do. And I did this every single day for 21 days straight. And then he just kept whispering, ministry. And I was like, oh yeah, because way back in the day, he called me to ministry. And I was like, okay, so what do I do? And basically it's a really long story about just the ministry and everything. I have more videos of that on my other channel if you want to check it out, of how the ministry like became a ministry. But so I just took it and I ran with it, and I ended up launching Shift Worthy Ministries on December 25th, Christmas Day of 2020. So that was my gift to Jesus. So that was the kingdom thing. And then also at that point, that is just whenever I left health and fitness coaching. So then I started Shift Worthy Ministries, but I always had this tug inside of me, like for health and fitness, like to do more with health and fitness, So I tried in my own strength to launch Shift Worthy Fit back in, I think it was July of 2024. But at that time in my life, it wasn't the timing. It was not God's timing. Not at all. I was walking through a hope deferred year. So basically it was, God gave me like all these like cool like promises and all this kind of stuff, and I thought he was gonna like work them out like this way or this way or this way, and it wasn't. And just everything around me again, my whole entire world, shift worthy. This is why he gave me the message, but it just crashed around me, and I ended up actually losing that shift worthy fit dream at that time. But it was really because God wanted to take me on my own health and fitness journey, like behind the scenes, without the cameras, without everybody, because he wanted to show me a new way, his way, to incorporate health and fitness. And so also at that time in my life, I was so stressed because I lost 2 jobs, I lost income, I lost relationships, friendships, I lost all the ships, I lost dreams. It was a horrible year. So I was stressed, and I actually ended up like really breaking out like on my face, and I was so embarrassed. I'm even like, I've never really shared this before, but like I didn't want to go out in public, and I still didn't wear a lot of makeup, but I was so embarrassed, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, I'm so stressed, and like, I was like, maybe there's more to it, like maybe it's my body, like I don't know, God, like what's going on? And this is really where I started asking God into my health and fitness journey, and I started praying and just asking him, to lead me and to guide me on all of this. And then it was last year. Wow, yeah, because we're in 2026, but it was last year, January of 2025. I was still kind of going through all that kind of stuff, just like a little bit and everything, but that's whenever I sat down and he led me on my new health and fitness journey. And I needed to go like on a gut health type program, so he introduced like supplements and everything for me, and it was all within my budget. It wasn't anything crazy, and it was a beautiful thing. So I really think that why Shift Worthy Fit did not work out in 2024 was because he needed to take me on my own health and fitness journey, and I needed to surrender and invite him into mine. And that's the heart of what I'm doing now. Like ever since that, like he's led what I'm doing, my next steps and everything. And so that's why I'm here, and that's what I want to teach you guys now. So Shift Worthy Fit, like this is a kingdom thing. Thanks for joining me for my health and fitness story, and I can't wait to do more videos and more things for Shift Worthy Fit. And I'm excited because Shift Worthy Fit, it's a kingdom thing. It's here, guys. It's been a lot of years, it's been a lot of heartache, but we are here. So I just want to thank God for every single thing. So Jesus, Shift Worthy Fit is for you. I thank you, I love you and praise you, and I thank you for everybody that you have brought in the path of Shift Worthy Fit. So thank you, Jesus.